You know what? It's pretty crazy to see how poorly optimized this game kind of actually is, even in 2025, right? Running on an RTX 5090 at the highest settings without like any DLSS or frame generation or anything like that, any form of upscaling, we actually can't hit like, you know, our 60 FPS. Like, we're well below it. But anyway, that's not what we're here for. We're here to test multiple things. So this is native, full native, you know, no upscaling whatsoever. I'll show you the settings, obviously ultra settings and everything like that. Let's go graphics first. So ray tracing on, everything ultra. We're using TAAU. We can use FXAA just to show you that as well. Dynamic resolution scaling off, sharpening off. I've got motion blur and these sorts of blur and chromatic aberration off as well. Because it's just not my kind of thing. Everything else is on max though, like NVIDIA Hair works as well. Display, we're obviously at 4K resolution, unlimited FPS, no frame gen right now, because I just wanted to show you raw actual performance from this card, because it's kind of, in this game, very disappointing to be honest, but at the same time, you know, I don't know what to say. You got to use DLSS, I guess, for this game. It's just sad to see that this game is not actually... It's not crazy well optimized, really. It's just not. Like, people will hate me for saying it because they don't like their game to be criticized. But, yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's just change some settings and actually get ourselves to an optimal performance that we'd be happy to play at. So, for me, it's going to be instantly turning on DLSS, right? We're going to go to DLSS quality and see what we're actually getting. No frame gen or anything like that. Just DLSS quality. Let's see how much this helps us get to a good place. So 70s-ish frames per second, 1% lows downs towards 50 FPS. Kind of wanted it to be above that. I have used, by the way, preset K for people wondering. I'm just going to turn my audio down actually a little bit. I have used preset K, so we are using the new DLSS transformer mode. So if we wanted to go to something like balanced or performance, as much as that's disappointing with a 5090, we still have that option. I haven't played this game in so long. How do you call in the horse? Cool horse. Press twice. There we go. It's different in every game, so I always get very confused. Mr. Horse? Where are you, Roach? Come here. Oh, no, I did not want to do that. Roach. All right, there we go. So let's just run around the horse for a bit and see what we can do. Maybe we'll go to a save as well in some different areas. We can do that. But this, all in all, actually performance is pretty disappointing from a card of this caliber, right? It's not... This isn't good. I'm disappointed, to be honest. But it is what it is. Like, you know, some games just work really well and some games don't. It's just the way it is sometimes. But we'll try some different options. We'll see what DLSS performance does in a second, just so you can actually see what you can expect from something like this. So let's do that. Let's go to performance. So options, video, graphics, and let's go to DLSS performance mode. And as I said, we are in the new transformer model, so we should actually get slightly better FPS than maybe what you used to. Let's reset those 1% lows, and yeah, go from here. Again, it's still not great. Image quality wise, I really can't see any sort of major hit taken. It's kind of weird, this game, to me, because it doesn't actually... Personally, I don't think this game looks that amazing anymore. Even with this like next gen patch, it's not the most incredible looking game in my opinion. Like, I personally think something like Red Dead 2 to me, it looks far better than this still, even though this has had that next gen actual update. And the stutter issues are quite prevalent there. Like with RT on and everything, it's actually pretty poor how the performance is. Now, obviously I understand we've got ray tracing on. Mr. Horse, don't abandon me. We're okay. We're okay. Alright, let's keep going up and just have a look and see what we can get. But we are seeing, you know, some stutters and some drops. This is, by the way, a fairly demanding-ish area, like this sort of area of the game. This isn't like the least demanding by any means, but I like to test something that's normal gameplay where we're out in the world and just sort of looking around. We'll obviously use frame gen. So something I want to do, and probably how I would personally play this game, would be to go to video, go to graphics, let's put this back onto quality mode, and then personally I would go to display and I would turn on frame generation to here. Now you can kind of ignore our 1% lows here, because frame generation does not report 1% lows accurately. The frame time graph also won't be deadly accurate with obviously this on, but now you can see we're at optimal performance. Frame generation is a real lifesaver, and you know, it really does help performance-wise. We are using 500 watts though, by the way, guys. It's absolutely insane. Just crazy, to be honest. But we are, you know, getting back to that 120 hertz, which is where I personally want to be for a card like this, playing on my TV. That's how I want to play the game. Let's go to somewhere else for a second. Where should we try? I'm trying to look at what we've got, because I haven't actually played. People will laugh at me. I've never played this game all the way through. Every time I've started this game, I stop. I get like a good way in. I think I played about 10 hours plus. I just stopped. And I went on to other things, and I need to stop doing it because I do want to play this game all the way through. And the thing is, I was really enjoying it. I don't know why I stopped. It's just one of those things where I just did, basically. But I will have to do it properly because I know it's one of the best games, and people absolutely rave about this game. So let's reset at 1% lows. We're in a bit more of a bright area. We can kind of actually see. Now, I've got stuff like VSync off. This actually looks much better now visually. Like, this is a much nicer looking area than what we were in before. It was quite dark and horrible. So this is definitely a nicer place. We've got really nice ray tracing on the water. Looking good, actually. I kind of almost take back what I said about Red Dead. I still think Red Dead almost looks better. I know it doesn't have all the ray tracing features and stuff, but to be honest, I just think it looks so good. Like, look at this. Yeah, I kind of take back what I said. Maybe it's on par or close to. I think maybe not quite as good. Like, I can see those trees in the background, like they're not so detailed. There's more like performance issues. But that's another thing we need to do, is we need to actually test Red Dead 2 on 5090. I haven't done that test yet, so I'm kind of interested to see what it looks like. But this, yeah, this looks and runs very, very, very well indeed. This is how I would absolutely play the game, and I'd VSync and I'd cap it to my monitor's refresh rate so it's nice and stable, and there's not so many sudden drops and stuff, and it just sort of syncs everything out. It looks much, I don't know, just feels more evenly frame-paced or whatever. But for the purpose of the video, I leave things unlocked so you can actually see raw performance as to what we're actually getting. But yeah, this is how I would personally play it. Looks very good. Let's go this way. But I absolutely need to dive into this. I'll have to do that at some point. It's something that just needs doing my end. But we are drawing 550 watts of power. Like, that is insane. This is why you just undervolt these cards if you don't want to, you know, have your bill go up by like 10 times the amount that it probably already is. It's just insane. They do use a lot of power, but at the same time, they're beefy cards, and I don't like the way Nvidia's doing things, and they're just kind of throwing more and more into them and increasing the power draw. Like, sometime, oh, big stutter there. Sometime we're just going to literally have like a 1,000 watt card. I just bet you we will one day just have 1,000 watt. Just the GPU alone will take 1,000 watts of power. I could see that happening one day. So we're just running around the area. We do get stutters every like few frames. I'm not sure why it's like that, but it's kind of disappointing, to be honest. For a card of this caliber, I don't think we should be seeing it, but it's not the card's fault, and that's what I see in some of my videos. Some people commenting like, oh, you know, that's really poor for that expensive of a card, like that card's terrible. It's like, it's not the card. The card is incredibly good. Obviously the card is good. It's ridiculous how powerful it is. But some games just are not optimized. Like, in my opinion, we should be running this natively at this kind of frame rate, and that's not the card's fault. That's the game's fault. We've seen games like, we'll do a Red Dead test, and you will see how incredibly good that game looks and runs. And yeah, it might not have ray tracing and stuff, but it almost doesn't need it because their methods of doing reflections and stuff are so good that it just doesn't bother me. And that's sometimes what you got to realize. Like, if we go ahead and turn off some of these ray tracing features, right? If we go into video, graphics, let's just turn off ray tracing. And let's just see. We're at 200 frames per second. Come on, right? Are you telling me when you're flying past these puddles on a horse that you're noticing that badly that the reflections aren't missing? It's not like you don't have reflections. They're still there. They're just not quite as detailed as with RT. And that's the thing. It's just kind of like, you know, do you really need it? And do you want the performance or do you want the visuals? It's kind of always that thing that you can make that decision to do. And personally, I mean, to be honest, for my monitor, it caps out at 120 anyway, so I'll just frame gen up to 120 like we did, and I'll use ray tracing because it still looks cool, right? There's still that option. Now, let me see if I've got anything. I know we've got Novigrad, so we can always go... Should we go to somewhere like Novigrad, maybe? Scaling, I don't think I've got... anywhere different than that. So I think we'll go to Novigrad and just have a wander around and just see if there's any massive performance dip. We'll put ray tracing back on as well, don't worry, so we can test that and just see if there's any massive performance drops. I somehow don't think there's going to be a huge difference in this city compared to where we were earlier. Some of the areas we're actually in earlier in the first part of this video were more demanding anyway than other parts, so you know, we've kind of tested some decent areas. By the way, but while we're waiting for this to load, please consider liking and subscribing if you do enjoy these videos, and also please do let me know what you'd like to see you know, from other games. 200 FPS in the city area, so let's go and put ray tracing on, because I know that's what people want to see. You're not buying a card like this to not use the features that it's kind of designed to actually do. So that's the thing. 140 frames. And 1% lows are actually pretty good. Like, you're going to get good performance wherever you are, be it Novigrad or anywhere like that. You're going to see decent performance. Let's run along here. Ray tracing's on. You can see all those nice reflections. But yeah, as much as I love RT and ray tracing and path tracing and all that stuff, path tracing is absolutely incredible. Imagine having path tracing in this game. I don't think it would be able to run on this card without maybe like DLSS performance and some frame gen as well. But like, sometimes you just got to think there's some games that just look so good that you don't even think about, oh, what, this game doesn't have ray tracing, I'm so disappointed, because it just still looks good. And I'm talking games like Death Stranding, right? Or, you know, Red Dead Redemption. These types of games that just look really good still, don't have all the new ray tracing features, but you can run them so well because of that, and they just still look brilliantly good, sorry. Alright, so there's stutter issues. There's the usual stuff that you expect to see in these kind of games, unfortunately. Disappointing. I don't like stutters in any games. Obviously, it's interesting walking through this town since we've seen the new Witcher demo of what they're going to be showing off and utilizing hardware-wise in the upcoming Witcher 4, which is going to be cool. I can't wait to dive into that. But I need to actually dive into this one first, so I will have to do that off camera for sure. Otherwise, we'll play the whole game through now. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Please leave a like, please subscribe if you are new to the channel, and I think we'll end it there. Thanks so much for watching, have a fantastic rest of your day, and bye-bye for now.